Plaintiff Carmela England says after she and her daughter, the defendant, moved to the States from Italy, the defendant started hanging with the wrong crowd. Carmela says her daughter was later kicked out of the military for smoking marijuana, and Carmela is suing her today for loans and a parking ticket. Defendant Jamila Lewis says the only reason she went into the military was to get away from her mother because she was a nag. Jamila admits that she struggled financially because it cost $1,300 a day to care for her disabled son. But she insists the money from her mother was a gift.
Tell me what's going on.
Your Honor, I'm very sad to be here today. I'm sorry. But my daughter, she do not listen to nobody.
How long has that been?
On and off for the last 10 years.
Why do you think she changed?
We moved from Italy in 1994, and she was a good girl then, but then she hung with the wrong crowd when she was going to high school. But finally, she graduated with a GPA of 4.0, and she graduated at age 17. She was not even 18.
She got scholarship offers?
She got scholarship, but she turned it down to go to the military.
Okay.
But the sad thing is then she got kicked out.
For what?
For smoking.
Smoking marijuana?
Yes, sir. She got married, she has a child, and I try to help her in any way. But the more I help her, the less responsible she gets.
We're going to get to the loans, but I was letting you give me some background. Doesn't sound like she's a wayward child, if you will. Doesn't sounds like she made a mistake of smoking marijuana. That's it. And maybe she had the child a little earlier than planned.
Yes.
But, you know, nonetheless, I'm sure you're happy to have the grandchild.
Oh, yes, I love him.
Plaintiff Carmela England is suing her daughter, who she claims was kicked out of the military for smoking marijuana.
Let me hear from you. If she says that you were doing fine in Italy, you came over here to America and got corrupted.
Your Honor.
By American youth.
Your Honor, I love my mom. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but she just nags all the time. That's why I got in the military. I made sure I graduated before I was 18 to get out.
Why didn't you take one of those scholarships? Nothing wrong with joining the military if you want to fight for your country. That's great. But I'm just curious. Did you have a lot of college scholarships and turn them down?
I did have a couple, but I don't really believe in an education system here in the United States. I really
what part don't you believe in the education system?
The education system, you can't think for yourself half of the time. And I don't believe in paying for education. Because I came from Italy, and you have free education until you're 30 years old. You stay in your mom's house, you get your education, you become a psychologist, bam. But I love my mom.
Got a lot of prospective immigrants, or soon to be immigrants here. Is that true? They pay for all the college in
Yes,
Italy?
sir. Yes.
Yes.
All right, ma'am. That's an interesting perspective.
Yes.
And hey, who can argue with it? If we charge over here and they don't charge over there, that might turn you off a little bit about our education system. All right.
Exactly. But the military turned out to be worse than my mom, actually.
Why?
I got a lot of sexual advances from my superiors. There's discrimination. My supervisors were smoking crack, doing cocaine, and if you weren't part of that scene, you're not going to make it. Even my first sergeant, he happened to be African American. He pulled me to the side and told me that. He said, "Listen, I'm not saying you're very smart, you're intelligent, you voice your own opinion, but you're not going to make it here because first of all, you're a woman, you're black, and you're attractive. You're not going to make it unless you go and smoke some crack and go with the supervisors." So it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. So I had my son in 2004. He happened to be disabled. He has asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy, which basically means that his ribs are too small for his lungs to grow properly. So it was a shock because I was 19 when I got pregnant. So my ex, instead of being helpful, he was an alcoholic. He drank his life away, and then he has sex actually with one of the nurses, one of my son's nurses. He got out the military and then disappeared. So I had no faith in anything. I was like, my mother was nagging at me. I'm taking care of a handicapped child that have been in the hospital for 2 years.
What have you been doing since then? You haven't worked yet?
I haven't worked. I work
caring
here
for
and
your
there.
son full
Yes.
time?
Yes, full time. Yes.
Otherwise, would you need help? If you were not caring for him full time, you would have to pay, or someone else would have to do it?
Yes, sir. And his care is $1,300 per day. So
No.
yes,
Yes, sir.
yes. I can't.
Then why are you giving her a hard time, man? Jesus.
Sir, the point was that she was borrowing money.
I would
saying
beg,
that-
borrow, and steal for
I
my
gave her-
child to survive.
Sir, I gave her a lot to my daughter.
Talking about smoking marijuana, I'd have sold me. You lucky she. I wouldn't have. But
Exactly.
You're lucky she doesn't sell marijuana
That's
to
what I'm
come up
saying.
with that money for the child. Go ahead.
I tried to give her tough love and be the typical Italian mother, but didn't work, sir.
She got some very strong challenges here she's dealing with.
Yes.
Now, if you'd have told me she's sitting up playing video games every day and won't go out and even look for a job, and she was
I
single,
can't even go to
sitting
my
up,
friend's house without her being upset. She expects me to be home 24 hours a day, miserable, like, and just sad.
No.
That's what she expects.
No, it's not true. When she's home with the child, she takes care of him. But then on the weekend, sir, she's a party animal.
I don't even stay out that late. I don't even have nursing hours to be out that late. I only go out once if it is a weekend, maybe twice a month.
all right.
Yes.
But you're home taking care of your child
Exactly.
all day during the week.
Yes.
And all day during the weekend. You just
Yes.
go out on the weekend nights.
Yes.
Give her a pass. How old are you?
28.
Give her a pass,
Judge
man.
Mathis. But you don't know the
You
whole
thinking
story.
about you probably thinking old country values.
Your Honor, she can make a mean pasta, but that's about it. And after that, she just nags and nags. It drives me crazy.
Plaintiff Carmela England is suing her daughter, who she claims was kicked out of the military for smoking marijuana.
Tell me how she owes you for loans and parking tickets.
Last year, she came, she has to pay some bills, and she asked me to loan her $500. I gave it to her.
When? About the month and year?
Yes, it was October of 2010.
Okay.
I gave her $500. Then the following month, in November, she asked me for another $500. And then in the following year, like in February, I transfer money from my checking account to her account to help her for, she said,
much?
bills.
How much?
The total, okay, let's see. February was 150. March was 200.
Total amount.
Total amount is,
Your Honor, she
Hold
knows.
on.
I got it here. So.
All right, let's see it. But it sounds like you said October and November of 2010, you loaned
Yes.
her $500 each month. And then
Cash,
it sounds like you were, okay, I see it here. And the parking ticket?
The parking ticket, she used my car, sir.
How much are you asking for?
For the parking ticket?
It appears that you want $240 for a parking ticket?
Parking ticket. Because for the disabled, I have the parking
Where does
ticket
she
here.
park? In the middle of City Hall?
No, she parked in a disabled parking, and they give her a
In
ticket.
the hospital.
In the
Yeah.
hospital.
With my son's appointment.
She went for an appointment, and then when she didn't put the
It
disabled,
was only $25. And I actually went to court, and they basically just gave me told me to pay $25 just for
I don't know what
the.
court. I need your lawyer. Or your judge or whatever.
No, it was just for the processing fee.
That's my point, man.
Yes,
So you
yes.
haven't paid for the ticket.
No, Your Honor, but they only told me I had to pay $25 for the processing fee.
they
Right. That's processing. What about the ticket itself?
That's all they told me. So just pay this, and you're good to go.
Well, they lied to you. Here, look at
I told you so.
it. What do you say about the 2000 in loans?
I don't even keep up with it because she lets me just have money. Like when I need it, she gives it to me. So that's why I didn't even keep up with it. It could be $2,000 or over, but there's no promissory note.
Okay.
I thought she was
I have-
helping me and
I
my
have
son.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, she has never asked you for the money in the past?
No.
Why do you think she's asking this time?
Because she lost her job in July, actually on her birthday. She worked there 17 years and they fired her
Why?
because she clocked in early.
Is that true?
Yes, sir. I violated the timekeeping.
Ma'am, she says these were gifts and you only asked when you lost your job.
I asked her so many times that she don't even answer.
When's
when
the
I-
first time you asked for your money?
I asked her the beginning of the year because I had to pay other bills, but instead
What did she say?
she said, "Mom, I will give it to you. Just
I
put
did
on-"
not say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I
You
didn't.
never agreed to give her any
I
money.
never did. I never did.
If you gave her $500 in October and she said she would pay it at the beginning of the year, why in February did you give her another? You gave her $1,000 from February, March, and on. In fact, you gave her $650 as of August.
Because they was ready to take electricity off, and I didn't want that to happen.
Well, if you loaned her money because they were going to turn her lights off, what do you think will happen today if I make her pay $2,000?
And my son's on a ventilator, so he relies on
That's
electricity
why I
to
could not
breathe.
say no, sir. That's why.
I love my mom. I don't like seeing my mom like this. I love her, but
Tell you what we're going to do. Because her not having a job, I don't see her giving the money either. What we're going to do is, ma'am, we're going to grant you the judgment, and then we're going to find some social service agencies that will help you or pay for the judgment, because certainly between medical care and the monies that are available for that, social service agencies for a parent with a disabled child, all the other things that are available, we're going to try and get that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right? In the
Thank you,
meantime,
sir.
we're going to grant you your judgment and find the money to pay you. All right. Have a good
thank
day.
you, Your Honor.
I'm so upset because I want you to grow up and just.
I love you, Mom. It doesn't
I love
matter
you
what
too.
it is, but I don't have it. I just don't have it.
Well, we gonna figure out. Then I still love you,
I love you.
but you know.